down the Mother Road from Tulsa, Oklahoma to Kingman, Arizona.
Thank you for having us.
Some 1,200 miles of legend.
We just thought it was absolutely Americana. And our daughter said, you know, there are 30 other idiots who are going on this trip.
In 1951, my husband and I drove across the country, picked up Route 66, Tulsa actually, and drove all the way to the Pacific Ocean.
For Maggie Kudish, this won't be just another drive. It's a journey down memory lane.
Hi, good morning. I've always remembered how exciting that trip was and how thrilling the scenery was, and I longed to do it again.
Maggie is back, tracking a highway she traveled 42 years ago.
We came out in a 1949 Plymouth that we call Gertrude.
She's brought along her journal from back then.
There's been a lot of water over the dam since 1951. Now, where the hell is the bus?
It's over here.
Well, it's a good thing you two are married, because you're pretty close together there.
Route 66 has been an American love story since it was built in 1926.
As you can see, the road's in good shape. It's in great shape.
It spanned 8 states and 3 time zones and experienced all our nation's good times and bad times.
There have been so many reincarnations and layers of Route 66. In the Dust Bowl years of the 30s, there were bittersweet times. The Depression was on, the rains had stopped, and they were looking for those sweet oranges in that Pacific shore. And
after World War II, America gassed up and hit the road, including Maggie and her husband.
This was the farthest away from home I had ever been. This is a page of car expenses. We spent $52.93 on car expenses.
But every one of them are looking for is the way America used to be.
Oh, God, there it is.
This blue whale was a godsend to a generation of fathers and mothers driving Route 66.
Watch out for doggy doo.
Picture it, 1957. You're a station wagon. You have 2.5 kids, a basset hound. Mother is wrestling with the map. Father is just thinking about a cold beer. And all of a sudden, this blue whale's peeking out through the trees.
The romance wasn't just in our hearts, but also in our stomachs.
Wonderful choice.
Really, Oklahoma?
Just like my mother used to make.
They want a taste of the way it used to be.
Delicious.
And I think that's what it's all about.
You're listening to Over Easy, the RXO, Oklahoma City.
Clinton was always a good Route 66 stop. I can't imagine the world without Pop Hicks.
This cafe has been an institution since 1936.
It's a place to stop and just forget about the rest of the world. Maybe catch up on a ball score or talk about the weather.
Smile every time I think of this.
Yeah.
I'm a hog caller, yeah.
Small town USA is what we've got here. I'm glad it still exists.
We're passing by Eric in Sayre, Oklahoma.
Westward here, on to lunch at Shamrock, on our way to overnight at Amarillo.
You're now in Texas, folks. You're on Old 66 and you're headed into Shamrock. Right up on the right, you see those distinctive towers. There's the U drop in.
Oh, I've got to send a tacky postcard to some sophisticated friends. This is it. Got to have that one.
Morning, folks. Our first stop will be Cadillac Ranch.
I love it. I love pop art. Wish I had that in my front yard.
But the Cadillac Ranch is a story all by itself. A tall Texan tale only another Texan, Dan Rather, can tell.
Even been put on the road maps now.
We'll see you later in our 48 hours. Lillian Redmond's waiting for us up at the Blue Swallow Motel in Tucumcari.
It's not just another roadside attraction.
Unbelievable.
It's a bumper crop of vintage Cadillacs,
I think it's fabulous. I never knew it existed until we came on this.
planted in a wheat field outside Amarillo, Texas, just off Route 66.
Can I put my name in it?
Yeah.
Oh, well, it's what it's here
I have a
for.
special pin.
Do you? Great.
And whatever you make of it,
They were awful cars then, weren't they? Still are.
it's Amarillo's most popular tourist attraction.
I think anybody with enough vision to create this it's got to be pretty sharp. I can't remember who did this.
Stanley Marsh III, that's who did it.
It's kind of like riding an elephant. But I like to drive it because I like to be seen in it, and I like to show off, and it makes people happy.
A man who knows where he's going and where he's been.
This is when America was real and Eisenhower was president. Mamie was drunk in the White House. Ike was in the green fairways of indifference, and we were having a great time. And I was a boy right here in Amarillo, Texas, growing up. My daddy was rich, and my mama was good looking. We were in the oil business, and I had a great time. So I'm off for another day's adventure in the big wide world. When you lived on Highway 66, it's like being Huck Finn and living on the Mississippi River. And when you wake up in the morning, the main street of the world is in your front yard, and that's where things are going on.
They were then, they still are.
Well, hello, P-R-O-U-B-L-E.
What's old? Old cars, old roads, old times is something new for many Americans.
I mean, everybody knows what a 57 Chevy looks like, but nobody knows what a 93 Pontiac looks like.
She's affectionately known as Dolly.
We call her Dolly.
And I can't compete with these.
I'm walking up to the Cadillac Ranch on a beautiful Sunday morning in the summer of 1993. In everyone's life, there's a summer. And they look just great, and they're pure American. I mean, nobody imported any of these cars. And they are when we were free, and they remind me of my golden youth.
Heard a lot about it.
And who do you think built it?
You know, I have no earthly idea.
Do you think he was crazy, just out of his mind? I mean, a real gourd?
I think he had to get it out of his system. You could cross the country in any kind of car. But a Cadillac and Route 66, it represents a lot more than a lot of Americans realize. It's known throughout the world.
It's not very flattering for what we would call the pride of America to be stuck out here, nose buried in the dirt.
There is some romance and nostalgia for the 50s and for these Cadillacs when people think everything was so wholesome and good, and it's kind of not that way nowadays, is it? But I like it the way it is now.
Not the vehicle, it's the trip. It's absolutely a memorial to the American dream, which continues. 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. Here we go. It's wrong-headed, and it's horrible. And it shouldn't be there, or it shouldn't be there all by itself. It's not over yet. This road does not end. I think the world is what we make of it.
Why not keep on rolling? And the best way to keep things rolling
is to keep working harder to roll back prices.
Roll back, keep on rolling. Look around. There's a lot more that's a lot less at Walmart.
Gotta keep on rolling. Roll back America.
We never stop rolling back prices. Walmart.
Gotta keep on rolling.
Always the low price. Always.
Since Maxwell House Light gives you the rich taste of Maxwell House coffee, but with half the caffeine, you may want to get a bigger cup. Maxwell House Light, now also an instant, and good to the last drop.
Attention heartburn sufferers.
If antacids work, why do I keep getting heartburn?
You know, frequent heartburn may be a sign of a more serious medical problem. Your doctor has treatment plans that can help.
Frequent heartburn. Isn't it time you talk to your doctor?
Of all the things around your house that need batteries, there's one thing that needs a good, fresh battery most of all. See your Allstate agent for a free home fire safety brochure. And please, check the battery in your smoke detector often.
I'll see you later. Bye. Hi.
Hi.
What are you doing here?
I live here, remember?
Yeah, but I thought you were working late.
Gave myself the night off.
We'll go out. I'll change.
Let's stay home. I'll change.
Only Blockbuster has so many movies, so many ways to make your night off a Blockbuster night.
Did I hear the phone?
So pick up a movie from Blockbuster and make it a Blockbuster night.
Your marriage is going the wrong way, and so are you. You love your husband, but there's a part of him you can never reach. And now the one woman who can is back in town. You need something to hold on to, or someone.
Jenna Harrison's life is about to take a wrong turn. Next stop, Angel Falls premieres Thursday.
Monday, David Letterman's on CBS.
I can't begin to tell you how excited I am. But then again, it could be the vending machine coffee.
Being outdoors is the big thing for me.
Get in there, little guy.
Tommy Estes has his work cut out for him today.
Pull that right on in here.
I love horses. I love to work cattle. It's kind of like play, you know.
That's the way to do it.
But the play is hard work. This is the biggest day of the season, rounding up the last of his longhorn calves for branding and vaccination. For Estes, a third-generation rancher, life as a Texas cowboy is not just a job.
This ranch has been in my family for 50 years or so, you know. And
it's a calling.
It's just a fantastic life. You don't have to deal with people quite as much.
Not far from the Estes Ranch, at the Longhorn Cafe, it seems Jeanette Battenhorst has a calling too.
You can go up there and fix it.
The care and feeding of ranch folks.
Jeanette is the best cook in town.
Well, I just like to spoil the guys. I like to cook for big bunches. If you got the cowboys, you're going to be busy.
Howdy. Hello, Melvin.
Cowboys like Estes are the lifeblood in these parts. A big change from the days when the nation's highway brought California-bound travelers through.
If it wasn't for the cowboys, sometimes I think I'd go crazy.
Jeanette's place is here in Vega, Texas, where old Route 66 cuts straight through the center of town. One of the great things about the highway was you didn't just touch the road, you touched the people along the way. Now, with traffic speeding down the interstate, people just don't have a reason to stop in small towns like this. And they really don't know what they're missing.
Such a big hurry to hurry up and eat and get out. I think they ought to sit back and just kind of watch what goes on.
We live in such a highly competitive and technological society today till it's a screen, you know. I mean, hey, let's slow down, let's live, you know.
This is where life slows down.
Good morning, Blake. Step on you.
Where nature winds the clock.
Was it muddy?
No Cadillacs here, just real horsepower.
All right, we're going to go get them.
And Tommy Estes is playing his part.
We'll meet y'all right down there.
A part Hollywood has sought to capture many times.
Okay, most of those cattle are right back in here. You can just take 4 or 5 guys.
The real-life plot? Round up the cattle and drive them back to the corral.
Oh, yeah. Look at that. Look at that. That away.
But these cowboys are no city slickers.
Looky there.
And this isn't some 2-week vacation.
Okay.
This is a way of life. And some wonder how much longer it will survive.
Isn't it a lonely lifestyle? Well, I guess to a lot of people it would be, but to me it's not.
Keith James calls it freedom.
Horses and cattle and my little buddy here. I mean, I don't feel loneliness at all.
A freedom he wants his 6-year-old son Wes to share.
How long have you been doing this?
All my life.
All your life. You want to be a cowboy when you grow up, do you? Just like your dad?
Do you worry, Keith, that this lifestyle is going to disappear someday because there aren't enough people out there like your son? It's inevitable, and that's why I think it's more precious now than it's ever been. To me, it is, you know. As long as I'm alive, I'm going to do everything I can to keep it going.
That is a T-bone. That's mine.
Orestes and his crew, the work is rewarding.
Okay, looky there, y'all.
The satisfaction of a job well done.
Ready? We're going to bolt.
Deep in the Texas Panhandle.
Hey, boss. Hey, boss.
Where life slows down. Just to stop off the highway.
Come back east with us now to the state where Route 66 starts, Illinois, the land of Lincoln. except for 3 days a year when it's transformed into the land of car lovers.
The silver one.
They call it Bloomington Gold.
I'd like to welcome everyone to Bloomington Gold at Springfield.
Even though it's been moved from Bloomington to Springfield, Illinois. It's a place where you can buy,
I want to sell this car.
sell,
$32,000.
or just plain admire America's first true sports car, the Corvette. The Corvette and Route 66 go way back.
Hello, world.
The 1960s TV series forever linked the car and the highway. Today, the Mother Road appears as though she's been forsaken by her offspring. Yet, part of the Route 66 family is still alive and well.
I think this is Corvette heaven. What do you think?
It is.
It looks like it to me.
If there is one, this has got to be it.
Leon Sollers and his wife Janine have come today to fulfill a dream.
There's a red convertible.
A dream that began for Leon 35 years ago.
When I was 14, 15 years old, I had a friend that had a Corvette, took me for a ride a couple times in it, and I guess that kind of got me hooked on it right then. And I thought, someday I'm going to own a Corvette. How much?
89.
18.9.
Forget that.
That's pretty. With any luck, I'll find a car over here that is basically what I'm looking for.
What we're looking
what
for?
we're looking for within our price range, and hopefully we'll drive it home from the show.
But one car Leon will definitely not be driving home
I've got to undo the tie dance.
is Lael Huffstutler's 1967 Corvette Coupe.
Gets a little close in here.
You can't buy it.
I love that car.
You can't even touch it.
Phil.
Whoa. Oh, my man.
That's one time.
Lael was a school teacher in Birmingham, Alabama 26 years ago when she first spotted Blue Wind.
That's the car's name, Blue Wind.
It was sitting in the car dealer's showroom.
One day I said, well, I've got to have the car.
Attention on the fairground.
I've kind of had an affair with the car over the years. I drove it so much that I was never at home anymore.
And what did her husband think of Blue Wind?
This was not his favorite piece of machinery. That's him. He had his garden and I had my car.
Lael still has Blue Wind. The husband, he's long gone.
He said I loved the car more than I did him. Maybe he was right.
And this is a very special weekend for Lael.
Straight back.
She's going for the gold. Bloomington Gold, that is. One of the most prestigious awards a Corvette owner can get. It certifies your car looks almost as good as the day it was made.
We're looking for the way it left the factory. No better, no worse.
Marty Fowler has been a judge at Bloomington for 10 years.
We're looking for a car that doesn't look like it's been fooled with. You can take it apart and paint it and put it back together, but just don't make it look like it's been taken apart and painted.
You want to help a little, Joe?
Greg Genko and Kevin McKay are also here for the gold.
Make sure it's ready for tomorrow, huh?
But not for themselves.
I want to make sure that Sam gets his award this time.
They're here for Sam.
This is the king.
This is probably after he won a show. He's just relaxing there.
Sam Feynman tried twice to win the gold. Both times he left with a silver.
He just wasn't going to be happy until he got the gold.
He was so excited knowing that he got his car into it for the third time.
But Sam wouldn't get a third chance. He died of a heart attack a month before this big event.
We were like his sons, and we would go to all the shows together, and he really put us under his wing.
And that's why Kevin and Greg are here, to finally win the gold for their best friend, Sam.
Bring him on.
Yeah, bring him on.
That was Sam's motto. Bring him on.
He always wanted to win first place in class. He always wanted to get best of show. And if he didn't get it, he'd go back to the drawing board. He goes, I'll get him next time. And he would never, never give up.
So the pressure's on to win the gold.
That's what Sam wanted. Oh, very nicely done.
And this is what Leon wants.
Could I hear it run?
Maybe.
That definitely sounds nice.
I think you've changed your mind from red to yellow.
Do you like that car right now well enough for me to go over there and make him an offer?
No. There's a red one sitting out here somewhere.
And also sitting out here,
I'm nervous.
Lael and Sam's dream cars. It's Judgment Day.
Come back. Let's get a brighter light in the back with it, Marty.
And Greg...
He's tough. The young guy is tough.
...is starting to worry.
Wiring harnesses, we got a couple of problems with the colors and straps.
In early 1963, there was a boot that slid over that to keep it watertight.
And while they are trying to add up the judge's score...
265 going into the tech. Oh, we're getting close.
Lael already has hers all figured out.
How'd it go?
I got my gold certification.
You already know?
I know.
I mean, you're not supposed to find out until you get up there for the gold.
I kept up with my points.
How do you feel?
Get a life. Get a vet.
Boy, it handles nice.
Yeah, it does.
And that's what Leon is still trying to do.
Once you buy one, you'll be owning a Corvette the rest of your life.
Well?
It drives nice. Handles good. It's good and solid. The engine sounds good. I like it.
You like it?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I think the price is right on it, too. What do you think?
Yes.
Shall we buy it?
See if you can talk a deal with him?
How about 61.5 for it? 1, 2, 3. We're Corvette owners now.
How does it feel?
It feels great. I feel like I'm 16 again. This is a dream.
A dream come true.
Yes, a dream come true.
Can I get those?
Yeah, you can hold the keys, Steve.
Car certified for 1993.
And for Greg and Kevin...
So we wanted...
and even Sam, it's also a dream come true.
Okay, folks, that's a wrap.
I hope you're happy up there, big guy. I really wish he was here to see it, that's all. I really miss him a lot.
Light. It is the first element of creation. Nothing brings it more elegantly or shapes it more beautifully than Anderson windows and patio doors. Come, live in the light of Anderson windows. Come home to Anderson.
To help relieve her heartburn, Original Rolaids uses an aluminum salt. But his antacid is Tums, and Tums has calcium.
Something my body needs anyway. I like that.
My Lender's Bagels. You know, I start my day every day with a toasted Lender's Bagel.
This is what I was craving.
And imagine, only 2 grams of fat.
Nothing like a Lender's Bagel.
Lender's Bagels. First you crave, then you rave.
He's ready to kick off his new late show, but first we'll ask David Letterman questions of our own. Will he tell us everything?
Tomorrow on CBS This Morning with Harry Smith and Paula Zahn.
What if your child told you a horror story? A mystery that shattered lives?
It's true. No one knows.
Eye to Eye with Connie Chung, Thursday.
Go on patrol with 2 cops who make the bust of a lifetime.
We were about to open up one of the biggest cases in the history of the NYPD.
An all-new Tough Cops, Friday.
So if your Corvette's won the gold along old Route 66, what else is there to go for?
This quintessential Texas, Texas of imagination and reality colliding here.
Author Michael Wallace and his Smithsonian tourist have been sidetracked again in Texas.
Here's a steak eater.
The deal is, you eat a 72-ounce steak, that's 4.5 pounds.
This is a little one.
You eat it in an hour, and it's free.
People have actually eaten this.
All the time.
This is it.
Somebody's going to tangle with that, I tell you.
Already stuffed with nostalgia, they settle for a Texas dainty prime rib. Not much of Route 66 is left.
As much as 80-85% of the old road is still
The
out
Mother
there.
Road was decertified, abandoned by her Uncle
No matter
Sam,
if it's broken in parts.
and replaced by 5 interstates. Yet, look out there. The old road snuggling up to the super slab as if to tease and remind today's gawkers she's still here.
We're going to pull into Glen Rio, check it
Although,
out.
just barely.
Take a pulse, see if we can get a little bit of a heartbeat. This is the town where you can have 1 foot in Texas and 1 foot in New Mexico.
Here's old 66 right here.
Probably more dogs live here than people. Glen Rio is turning into a bona fide ghost town.
Why is Glen Rio dead? And just up the road, Tucumcari still has a heartbeat?
Maybe it's because Tucumcary's got Lillian Redmond who's been running that Blue Swallow Motel forever.
You're a legend. Yes, along with everything else. What you're saying.
All these people coming up to you and calling you a legend.
Oh.
How do you feel about that?
Well, it makes me feel about as old as I am.
And that's a spry 83. She remembers how she got here.
In a covered wagon in 1915, and we had a cow and a saddle horse and a team full of wagon.
So you've seen a lot happen along this route, haven't you?
It's life. And Route 66 really has a mystic lifestyle all the time. For a while, Route 66 was forgotten. It was just lost. And then all of a sudden, people went as fast as they could, everywhere they could go. They decided it better slow down and take a slower pace. So 66 has come back into its own.
Goodbye, Miss Lillian.
Yes, goodbye, Miss Lillian. Gotta go. They're waiting on us up the road at the Route 66 diner. See you later. And by the way, forget your diets.
We don't have a surgeon.
Still ahead on 48 Hours.
It's kind of like visiting an old haunted house right now.
A health scare on the highway.
I don't know what's going to happen to some people.
And the hottest spot on Route 66.
What if it's like
That's
103? Is that hot?
No, I mean, they don't pay attention to that.
Well, it's too hot. 104 hot.
Not really. Awful hot. Awful hot.
108. You start getting hot.
Well, it starts getting a little warm.
You've got the power! You've got the power!
For allergies that hurt, Benadryl Allergy Sinus Headache combines maximum strength relief for sinus pain and pressure with the histamine blocker, Benadryl. Benadryl Allergy Sinus Headache from Park Davis.
48 Hours will continue. This is CBS.
The Missouri State Fair's always been a big event. But this year, we're doing things on an even bigger scale. In fact, this year's State Fair will be the biggest Missouri's ever seen.
Irma! You're not gonna believe this!
Tired of missing the 6 o'clock news because you're stuck in rush hour traffic? Tune to CNN 1340, Voice of the Heartland, for the simulcast of Kansas City's news at 6. So hear what you're missing. Kansas City's news simulcast on CNN 1340, the Voice of the Heartland, weeknights at 6.
It's estimated that by the time your kid gets to college, a 4-year degree will cost around $100,000. Maybe you should start saving now at OfficeMax.
Save on Stepco's durable and lightweight ballistic portfolio, now just $29.99. And on double pocket portfolios from Duotang, with and without fasteners, just 15 and 22 cents.
Of course, they could get a scholarship. Better take your savings to the max. OfficeMax, the office product superstore where savings is the bottom line.
When it's over, it's over. Finished. Gone, out of here, kaput. After Ford's factory authorized clearance ends, the best deals of the year are history. Past tense, a done deal. We're talking about the absolute best time of year to buy. Save hundreds, even thousands on 5 of the top 10 selling vehicles in America. But after clearance, these deals go bye-bye, arrivederci, ciao, see ya. So if you want the best possible deal on a new Ford car or truck, get to Ford's factory authorized clearance now. On the double, ASAP, pronto.
You're a witness to a crime, and you can put the bad guys behind bars with Crime Stoppers. Tonight at 10 on Channel 5, watch a reenactment of a crime. Call the Crime Stoppers hotline with your tips, collect a reward, and send a thug to jail. Channel 5 is the only station in town to step up and help make your neighborhood safer. Each week, Betty Sexton teams up with cops to fight crime, and tips from our Crime Stoppers network put bad guys in the slammer. So do something about crime. Watch Crime Stoppers tonight at 10 on KCTV5.
A car repair that cost a customer his engine. The story tonight at 10.
We got Lake Havasu City coming in right now with 107. Needles, 104.
Times may have changed, but there is a town on Old Route 66 where one thing is always the same.
Here in Needles, it's always hot in the summertime.
So, have you heard of Needles? If you're a weather watcher, you probably have. For years, this has been known as one of the hottest towns in America. All of which begs the question, how hot is it? That depends on what you're used to.
It will vary a little bit.
Yeah.
Right now, shoot it right up there, I'd say about 108.
108?
Yeah.
Is that hot?
No, it really isn't.
Herb Bender moved to Needles in 1941. He's used to it.
When lady says to me one time, she says, why didn't you get an automatic washer? I says, my wife wouldn't have it. She'd rather hang her clothes right on that line there, and within an hour, it's got that good, fresh smell where God and sunshine dried it out. By the time she gets to that end, she goes back this end and picks it up. It's already dry.
So what you're telling me, then, is that we're standing in a dryer.
That's, well, what? You said it, I didn't, but it's a dry heat. Leave it at that, partner. It's a dry heat.
If the locals don't notice the heat, the few tourists that come here certainly do.
Very hot, very hot. Awful hot. Awful hot. Oh, it's hot. And the thermometer at the motel is at 107.
Let me ask you, and you've lived here all your life, is it hot here?
Is it hot? Is the Pope Catholic?
Irma Watkins knows from hot, although her definition of hot may not be yours.
I've seen it 114 at midnight here in Needles.
What if it's like
And that's
103? Is that hot?
No, I mean, we don't pay attention to that.
104 hot?
Not really.
108? Do you start getting hot?
Well, it starts getting a little warm.
Nothing has changed life here more than air conditioning. And enough time has passed to allow people here to remember the days before air conditioning as the good old days.
We had beds out there on the porch, and in the evening, around about 2 o'clock, my grandmother would go out and wet the shady side of the house with water and wet the netting down, and then we'd just have a ball, get out there and play. And my grandmother fixed a great big picture of ice cold lemonade.
So who needs air conditioning?
Yeah. And we had the fans blowing. We thought we were in seventh heaven. We'd go down on the hobby
house. Do you have air
house.
conditioning today?
Oh, of course I do. How else could I live?
108 degrees in the shade on a cool day may sound like a liability to some people. Herb Bender sees it as an asset.
Whether there's some way we could commercialize on it. If down here when we raise money...
Commercialize the heat?
Yes. By people wanting to come to Needles or go through Needles or spend the night in Needles just to be able to say, I was glad to get out of there. The car was broke down, the old lady was pregnant, but we finally got out of there.
There is some history here. Today, Needles may be a little thin on people, but when Route 66 was still the nation's main street, Needles was in the thick of the war effort.
If you went 100 miles in any direction from here, you would be in the scope of soldiers in training for World War II.
What a sight that must have been.
It was. It was when you had 1 million soldiers or more.
Looking out here, standing out here under this
Wonderful
sun.
training, though. God, that's why we won the war, is because right here is where the men got the training they needed to go into North Africa, and it wasn't a strange place for them. Oh, hell, I got all that training in California. I'm ready to kill them son of bitches right now. I mean, really. I love it. Don't you like it?
It's hot.
You look better than you did yesterday, just from being here in this warm weather. I noticed that.
Tonight in St. Louis, the faithful have been brought to their feet. Jesus is back, and he's on the road. 20 years after the controversial movie, the stage show of Jesus Christ Superstar is touring America, reuniting the film stars Carl Anderson and Ted Neely.
And I got to do this 20-some years ago and had a great time doing it. And now here we are this many years later. I get the opportunity to do it again, and it's even more fun than it was to begin with.
Think while you still have me, move while you still see me.
The reality was a sense of urgency. If we didn't do it now, we would never do it. Because, you know, we're both pushing 50.
But if you think it's easy moving a deity, his disciples, and all their worldly possessions through 80 cities, think again. Our journey began 48 hours ago in Phoenix.
Goodbye, Phoenix. All right, what are you on the court to do?
Jesus Christ.
Warren, which way did these go? You know, there's more carpenters around here.
Do you think you're what they say you are?
As soon as the curtain comes down, so does Jerusalem.
Down, get out of our way this time. Right.
The stage, lights, costumes, and props are loaded into big rigs, bound for St. Louis.
Sometimes it gets a little bit frenetic when you deal with a company. There's 62 people all together.
Kim Behringer is the stage manager.
Just making sure that the trucks can park behind the building when they roll in.
The unsung superstars of this production prepare for the 1,500-mile drive to St. Louis over much of what was the old Route 66.
Oh, we got a problem here today or what?
Our job is to get the show to St. Louis safely and reasonably on time.
Jimmy Morrow is the lead driver.
They're a very, very unique breed of human beings. They're the Never Say Die group.
The show must be there.
It must be there.
No question, no answer, no nothing. It must be there at 6 a.m. for them to start.
And your cutoff time for leaving is midnight?
No, midnight means we don't have a show in St. Louis.
It takes 36 stagehands more than 4 hours to load 4 rigs. And by 9 p.m.,
all right, let's go.
They're ready to roll.
The trucks are on their way. The boys are rolling.
Back at the hotel, the cast and crew enjoy a rare night off.
Go out and drink, and then pack up, and then go to the next sit.
Take the highway, travel my way, that's the best. Diddly-doo. Get your kicks on Route 66. Where does the wine from? Wine's from Chicago to L.A. Diddly-doo. I've been more than 2,000 miles.
150 down, 1,350 to go.
Almost right. Oklahoma City is mighty pretty.
Yeah, that's right.
I'm below.
What about Flagstaff?
Gallup, New Mexico.
And it's in Gallup that the crew on the road take a break. Jimmy, how you feeling?
A little tired.
A little pooped?
A little pooped, ready for a cup of coffee.
This life on the road.
It's big time. It's the big time. What can you say about it, right? I can. Can I get coffee? Oh,
right here. Come on, wake up.
Could I get a cup?
With a quick caffeine fix and relief drivers taking the wheel, the trucks are on the road again. Meanwhile,
board all roads for Flight 1404 with service to St. Louis through the Dory Mark.
The cast and crew fly to St. Louis.
So we're now in sunny St. Louis, Missouri. The bus was there to pick up the crew. Thank you, Jesus. The trucks are on their way.
Downtown St. Louis, Box Theater.
And right on schedule, 33 hours after leaving Phoenix, Jimmy and his drivers pull into the Fox Theater parking lot.
We've done it. Once again, Broadway has come to St. Louis.
For these road warriors, it's another city, another load-in, and another sound check.
The girls who are singing upstage can't hear themselves at all.
And next, the room was full of wild and angry men. I don't know how
the bus, please.
But the show must go on, and Jesus will be knocking them out in St. Louis tonight.
There are a lot of credit cards out there today, but only one with Smart Rate. Now as low as 14.9%. And only one offers Smart Rate along with cashback bonus. And only one tops it off with no annual fee. Discover Card. There just isn't a better deal. It pays to Discover, the card that pays you back.
This is it.
The rumble for the recipe.
George Foreman versus KFC owner Russ Beeler. The prize, the Colonel's Secret.
I want it so bad I can taste it.
Uh-oh, Beeler's got help in his corner. They're pulling out chicken. Off come the gloves. Foreman can't resist that one-of-a-kind taste of the Colonel's original recipe chicken. This fight's over. Try it again yourself, because it's even better than you remember. Hurry to KFC.
You better get there before me. We do chicken right.
Frank goes on and on about my beef stroganoff. Know what's in it? Miracle Whip. This stuff isn't just for sandwiches. First, you brown ground beef and onions, stir in sour cream and Miracle Whip so it's real rich and tangy. Spoon it over thick egg noodles and tell him, honey. Honey? Frank? For quick and easy recipes, call 1-800-MIRACLE. For a tangy zip with a lighter touch, try Miracle Whip Light.
May I help you? Sprint is the only global phone company with local, long distance, and cellular. So whether you're calling around the world or around the corner, with Sprint, you can be there now. So whoever said the world doesn't revolve around you, obviously didn't have Sprint.
CBS comedy reaches critical mass this Friday because a mass of critics agree The Building is a winner. It's wonderfully gabby,
Don't lean out too far, they'll start scaling the walls.
fast and funny. With impeccable comic timing, The Building is a small gem. And TV Guide gives The Boys a 9. The Building and The Boys at their new times Friday.
Tennis's biggest stars playing for one of the world's most important causes. The Arthur Ashe AIDS Tennis Challenge, sponsored by Aetna, Sunday on CBS.
She started taking Tylenol Sunday evening.
Yeah, she does have a high temp.
It's every mother's nightmare.
She just started having trouble breathing, and she turned white.
While driving on I-40 on the way from Kansas to Arizona, Mitzi Dar's 14-year-old daughter became sick.
So you have 120 miles to Albuquerque.
Mm-hmm. I didn't want to be in the middle of, nowhere and have problems.
But they are in the middle of nowhere, and they've landed in the smallest hospital in New Mexico, the Guadalupe County Hospital in Santa Rosa.
I'm sure you don't know this, but there is some talk about closing this hospital.
What's the problem?
Well, there's not enough money, and you, or someone like you, would have had to keep driving.
Are you okay? Oh, my Lord. You're kidding. It's been scary. I'm glad they're here.
Lots of people are scared. If the hospital closes, the people in this little town right on Route 66 will lose the only medical care they have.
Whoa. This is Pam.
Enter Pam Galbraith.
We'll load the van and we'll hit the road. All right. You guys ready?
She's an administrator at the University of New Mexico Hospital in Albuquerque.
This is pretty through here.
She's out to help save Santa Rosa's hospital. Each week, Pam drives her van loaded with supplies from her hospital and takes them to Santa Rosa's hospital, 2 hours away. Cruising speed, 90 miles per hour.
There's old 66 over there on the right.
You bet. That's Santa Rosa.
These are hard times in Guadalupe County. Like many of the older communities along Route 66, it's rural and it's poor. Almost 40% of the people here live below poverty level.
How are you, Leo? I'm good.
And the hospital, like some of the people who use it,
Hi, Chuck. These are drugs.
is struggling to get by.
This is our operating room. As you can see, it's kind of like visiting an old haunted house right now.
Why's everything covered up?
We don't have a surgeon.
Another thing the hospital doesn't have
Dr. Unverzat.
is a full-time doctor.
I'm just looking your ears first, okay?
29-year-old Mark Unverzat is the hospital's doctor of the week.
So you had a hip replacement done.
Pam has borrowed him from the University of New Mexico Medical Center.
Well, what is your shift?
Well, when I get here until when I leave.
You kind of sore along in here.
The hospital may be small.
See, that's all fluid there. There's a ton of fluid in there.
But it's busy.
Do you have old records here?
Well, I don't even know what they need to get married.
The bottles that we have here are not really the best kind, but I think they'll work.
I mean, you're really into basics here, aren't you?
I mean, yeah, it is. I mean, you really have to rely a lot more on your own instincts. Touch my finger. Again? That's part of the adventure, really.
Soon, the people in the county will vote whether to pass something called a mill levy, a property tax.
22 people who work in this hospital are going to be the best ambassadors we have in the community.
The tax may be the only way to keep the hospital open.
Remember, no mill levy, no hospital.
This week we're going to start the door-to-door campaigning. The flyers are ready.
Christina Campos lives in Santa Rosa and works at the hospital part-time.
Oh, and at the park, they wanted you to go out and give them a little...
Over the next few days, her most important job is going to be selling the mill levy to the community.
Nutty's husband works for the state parks and recreation. And we can go out there and speak to their employees about the importance of having a hospital here. Hi! Did I catch everyone eating lunch?
Today, she's talking to the people who work in Santa Rosa's state park.
Are there any issues that you feel that right now might be dissuading people from supporting the mill levy?
Automatically, they'll be concerned of, how it's going to affect their pocketbook.
To maintain the hospital per residence, about $5, well, we came down with $5.31 a month.
The community needs this.
It's not just your pocketbook. You will be touched by it at some time in your life, be it your children or whatever, personally.
Lots of people need it. People traveling up and down I-40.
We've got a group of folks here from Guadalupe County Hospital, Christina Campos among them.
And people are really trying hard to make this work.
I just want to stress to everybody, the hospital is for all of us. We need to support it. We need to vote yes.
And if we can't pull it off...
The people of Guadalupe County said yes to the property tax. And a full-time doctor has already arrived, ensuring for a while at least that the little hospital in Santa Rosa will stay open.
Good evening. Next on Kansas City's News, can you go to a game and avoid the concession stand? We'll hear why one groupie is urging you to stay away.
Plus, 2 Rottweilers are returned to their owner after mauling a 4-year-old girl. We'll hear from her mother.
And you can help police stop an armed robber. Coming up on Crime Stoppers.
Stay with us. The news is next.
Miller Genuine Draft Rusty Wallace Stock Car. See it. Hear it. Feel it. Catch it, if you can.
For this guy, any deodorant will do. But these guys need Speed Stick, antiperspirant that gives 110%. And now Speed Stick deodorant has a powerful new formula to fight odor. Speed Stick, for movers and shakers, the #1, the only one.
Chicken Tonight simmer sauces from Ragu are so delicious, everyone's saying, I feel like chicken tonight, like chicken tonight. Try Chicken Cacciatore, so fresh tasting with big chunks of vegetables, like you made it yourself. Chicken tonight.
What an impression Walmart makes on kids. We were on a class trip. The kids were noisy with their usual chattering. Until we approached Walmart. Walmart is so wonderful, even kids know it.
Walmart equals back to school. It's all you need to know before you go.
Yeah, roll back, America. Roll back the school bus to Walmart.
Walmart, always the low price.
always.
The afternoon storm clouds darken New Mexico's land of enchantment. Another long day is ending for Maggie Kudish and the other Smithsonian road warriors.
We're only a few miles from our destination.
As their bus curls down through the mountains, author Michael Wallace gets them ready for the next stop.
Into the ancient city of Santa Fe.
People still like to take the old route that we've taken up here north and come in that back door of Santa Fe that way.
This is the main plaza. This is the heart and soul of Santa Fe.
But Santa Fe had only a brief connection to Route 66.
Marilyn Kudish.
Okay.
After one too many political squabbles, Santa Fe was bypassed.
Charming gardens. Did you take a picture of those gardens?
Yet you can't get your kicks on Route 66 without a fix in Santa Fe.
I didn't realize that you guys use soap to clean the place. That's fabulous.
It's the crown jewel of America's Southwest.
I'll perambulate the square. I'll hit every little shop and gallery. Oh, they took their dinner menu in. So do you see the shadows there in the balcony and the beams? That's it. That's what I come to look at.
And she's also here to shop.
That's a nice one. I'm strongly tempted. Those shelving, those are quite gorgeous. This is consumer heaven. Is this very expensive? Yes, I'm sure it is. It's $250.
Yeah. We're going down into the Duke City of Albuquerque.
Can I get you all to sit down so we can just get a quick help?
Out of all the big cities on Route 66, Albuquerque's one of the best for the big ones. It's forced to keep Route 66 alive with Central Avenue. Cuts right through the city. The university's there, the fairgrounds, the Route 66 diner. It's wonderful, isn't it?
This is what diners used to be like. Real true Art Deco. Love it.
And at the Route 66 diner, they're reliving the happy days.
I'm going to have a chubby steak burger.
Meatloaf.
Oh, my God. Anyone want to try some?
Oh, boy.
Now we've got a whole busload of bona fide road warriors. They've all passed boot camp and they've survived the Mother Road. I think for all of us, we've got a lot of sweet memories.
I've always had a fantasy that I could have a time machine, and that I could select times in the past and revisit them. And this has come about as close as is probably possible to get to actually realizing that fantasy.
Hey, gotta pull together.
If you plan to motor west, doodle-doo, take the highway, travel my way, that's the best, doodle-doo. Get your kicks on Route 66.
America's romance with the road is helping keep Route 66 alive. Preservation groups have sprouted all along the highway, and every year, thousands of motorists still pull off the interstate to begin their own journey down the road less traveled. I'm Dan Rather, and that's 48 Hours. Tomorrow night, Connie Chung will be here with Eye to Eye. Coming up next, your late local news. But first, here's a look ahead to our next report.
They want to kill someone. They don't care who it is.
What does it take to kill a man?
It don't take much of a stomach. Everybody says, yeah, kill the bastard.
He's convicted of murder.
I never killed anyone.
And is headed for the chair.
Is it working? It's working well.
Punishment in our state's death penalty. I want to see it carried through.
But one man is desperate to save him.
I got to do everything I can to save this man's life.
Death by midnight.
Am I ready to die?
Next week.
If you plan to motor west, doodle-doo, take the highway, travel my way, that's the best, doodle-doo. Get your kicks on Route 66. Where does it wind from? Winds from Chicago to LA, doodle-doo. I paid more than 2,000 miles along the way. Get your kicks on Route 66.
Name some of them cities.
Well, it goes through St. Louis,
Yeah.
Joplin, Missouri,
Yeah.
and Oklahoma City. It's mighty pretty.
Yeah, that's right.
I What about Flagstaff? Gallup, New Mexico. Oh, I know that.
For a transcript of this program, send $5 to 48 Hours Transcripts. Box 7, Livingston, New Jersey, 07039.
Roddy McDowell.